Hi, so this is GBH and we'll start with section 20. Point number 1. Section 20 GBH is set out in section 20 of the Offences Against the Person Act 1861. Number 2. It is a triable either way offence and it has a maximum sentence of 5 years, which is strange because it's the same as ABH. Point number 3. Section 20. What is section 20? Well, the definition is the defendant maliciously wounds or inflicts grievous bodily harm. Make sure you spell grievous right. I think I spelled it wrong for about 10 years. Point number 4. The actus reus is wounding or inflicting GBH. So wounding or inflicting GBH. Number 5, what is a wound? Let's look at that first of all. So a wound is a break in the continuity of the skin, and that is Eisenhower. If it's internal bleeding, that is not a wound. So it has to be a break in the skin. If you punch someone in the face and their nose bleeds, that's coming from inside, so that's not a wound. Point number 6, grievous bodily harm. So you either wound or inflict grievous bodily harm. Now, the word grievous, old word, no one really uses it anymore. It's defined as serious harm, Saunders, so think serious Saunders. The case of Bollum says you need to look at the victim to decide what is serious. So if you injure an elderly person or a baby, breaking a baby's leg would be serious, whereas maybe somebody breaking your leg wouldn't be serious harm. It could be ABH. So Bollum, look at the victim to see what is serious. Number 7, bodily harm, just like ABH, bodily harm can include the mind. So if it's severe depression, Burstow said, this can be bodily harm. Okay, so it's got to be severe. Point number 8, the law has expanded. It includes biological harm. So if you give somebody HIV, you know you're HIV positive and you pass it on. Deaker, the case of Deaker says that that is serious harm. The case of Golding said transmitting herpes to somebody, if you know you have herpes, that actually amounts to serious harm as well. And that's debatable. We can look at that in the evaluation. Point number 9, mens rea, is the word maliciously. Now, maliciously does not mean wicked, as the dictionary says. The word maliciously means intentionally or subjectively reckless. Okay, and that's cunning and recklessness. So maliciously is intentionally or recklessly. And point number 10, you just have to develop this a little bit. We know intention, Mohan, that's fine, we've done that before. So desire to bring about the prohibited consequence. So the defendant intends or foresees the risk of some harm. So for section 20 GBH, the mens rea is only about some harm, not serious harm. Okay, so just there are a few little things there. You just have to be really careful with that. So section 20, maliciously, the intent or recklessness as to some harm. Okay, now tune in for section 18. It's very similar to section 20, but there's some crucial differences, which sounds like I've just contradicted myself. But watch the next video to see what I'm talking about.